Greetings and salutations, my brother from another mother. Welcome back. And guess who got a new capture card? It's me. It's me. Yeah, I had to shell out 131 bucks for this motherfucker. Good lord. But on the flip side of that, we now have game audio. The files actually compiled properly. They don't take 2 hours to do it. And hell, I might not even have to put a delay on my streaming anymore. Thank you, Elgato HD60. I'm probably wrong. But let's talk about an experience that I had last night. I recently last night had lunch with a friend, and well, it was actually a dinner. We had dinner with a friend, and the topic of the conversation that actually came up was Plenty of Fish. Well, this friend, being a female, was on Plenty of Fish looking for dates, and she allowed me to look at some of her profiles, and it's amazing what some of the girls get on Plenty of Fish. First off, I would consider me and her about the same ballpark. She's slightly overweight, and she's not exactly, the belle of the ball. She's a good-looking girl. She's cute and everything like that, but she's not like a Selena Gomez or that type girl. But in a time period of about 5 hours, she got 18 messages. Motherfuckers like me, I'm envious. I played the dating game on hard. When I got a date, I gotta fucking kiss ass, I gotta cook, I gotta fucking, open up car doors and shit. I gotta be fucking charming as a motherfucker. There can't be no mad, upset Jordy, and still get to take his pick. No, that's not how it works at all. Jordy's gotta fucking kiss ass a little bit to get a bitch to like him. But, girls, they date on the easy mode, but they kind of date on the fucking frustration mode too, because like some of these messages, let's take this guy for example. His name was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1989. By the way, that's an amazing screen name for a fucking dating site pimp. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1989. But this guy, within 3 sentences, has already asked for a hand job. That is brazen as a motherfucker. Like, how do you go from full stop to hand job in 3 goddamn sentences? Especially with a screen name like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1989. But this whole situation made me have a different take or different like on the actual whole dating scene. And it made me reconsider some of the things I would do, which I'm not out there asking for hand jobs or even getting sexual to any point. Like I said before, I'm playing the game on hard. But it's always nice to go across the enemy lines and actually see what the other people are actually doing and presenting themselves to as for the females. And it makes me realize one thing. Females hate motherfucking fat bitches, dude. When you're fat as fuck like me, pussy just hates your ass on a natural level. But there's other things in dating that kind of worries you. Or at least me. On top of being, pleasantly plump, I also have a couple pet peeves that are really strict for me and I really do not like. Ever since I went out with my first, real girlfriend, but she's not really technically my first real girlfriend, my first long-term relationship, she had 2 kids. And, since then, I discovered one thing. I don't like women with kids, for the most part. But at the same time, that's something that comes and goes. Like, for example, if I met someone that was, fucking amazing, and she happened to have a kid, I wouldn't let that hold me back, but on a face value level, I technically don't try to go for girls with kids, period. It's not that I look at them as, used goods or anything of that nature. That's not how I kind of approach women as a whole. My whole take on approaching women is to look at them as individuals and not as objects. And I find that after reading this girl's, Plenty of Fish messages, a lot of guys seem to look at females almost as objects, much more than they are as a person. So many times has a conversation degraded into something sexual so quickly that within a 15-minute conversation, they go from talking about politics to how many curves that she has. It's kind of scary how the mindset out there, and it's kind of understanding how females, you generally are the weaker sex, physically and presently, can feel like they're afraid of people or afraid of being raped. Even though the rape statistic is abnormally low, guys put off a very rapey vibe, especially in an online dating situation. But regardless, kids. I tend to stay away from kids, and there's a couple reasons about this when I'm actually looking for girls online. One is they have a lot of responsibility that comes with them. Every girl will tell you that their kids don't need a father figure, they pay their own bills, they're their kids, blah, 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 fucking blah. Even if everything they just said right there is true, because you're going to get that line time and time and time again, because they are battling the same situation as you are, as they're looked at as almost like second-class females. And the reason that I'm calling bullshit on this is because even if they do take care of their kids and you don't need to be a father figure to said kids, there's still responsibilities that come with kids that require their utmost attention. Like, kids are going to need time, they're going to need food, they're going to need supervision, and if they're very young, it's going to eliminate a lot of the things that you can do as an adult. Like, for example, one of the things I ran into all the time was that you'd be sitting around 9 o'clock at night, you'd be feeling good, you'd be like, hey, let's go to the beach. But you can't go to the beach. Why? Because the kids are there and they're sleeping, and you can't leave them by themselves. So you gotta kind of just suck it up, and it happens again and again and again. You want to go to a restaurant? Well, instead of paying for 2 people, you're paying for 4 people. Or if you're not paying for 4 people and you're just paying for yourself and you're going Dutch with her and she can't get a babysitter to pay her kid, she has to cancel. Or she has to bring the kid, and then she has to pay for 2 people. And then that limits the amount of times that you can go out. There's all kinds of things that kids kind of like hold back. So that's one of the reasons I don't go out with girls that have kids naturally. But like I said, I'm always open to the possibility. The one that I never will accept is smoking. And this is kind of a flip-floppy one. Like I just said, I never accept it. But like, I would date a girl that smoked marijuana, even though I don't do marijuana. But I wouldn't date a girl that smokes cigarettes. 2 reasons. One, marijuana is not something you're going to smoke constantly. And if she did smoke it constantly, it would fall into the same category as the first one. But on the flip side of it, you know, it's something that she enjoys. She can do it in her own personal time. There's no, like, really super detrimental effects to it. And that's up to her. But smoking just makes them stink. Like, I don't know if you're listening here and you're a smoker and you got used to the smell. I understand that it's hard to do when you get used to a smell of smoke, but no matter how much cologne or perfume or things of that you put on, you can kind of smell smoke on somebody. And it's even worse if you go into their house. Like, say you got to do a sleepover at somebody's house and they are a smoker and they smoke inside of their home. You ever lay your head on a pillow in a smoker's house? It's terrible. It's a terrible situation. I've had to stay the night in a smoker's house, and I ended up sleeping on my arm and not use pillows at all because I couldn't stand that tar smell that comes from it. And I can't picture myself dating a girl that constantly smokes. I just couldn't do it. I don't find it attractive. I think it's probably the least attractive feature out there, and it's probably the #1 way to make a girl that's an 8 turn into a 3 almost instantly. I don't know. And like, it's kind of a shame because my whole family smokes. My mother smokes. My grandma smokes. My brother smokes. And it's like, ugh. I never got into it. I always thought it was disgusting as a kid. I find it disgusting now. Maybe it's that libertard mindset that I have. And I don't know why I just did a 9-minute video on talking about my dating life, but I really wanted to tell that story. Like, guys are fucking jerks on online dating. And if you're one of these guys that are jerks, change your game plan, dude. I know it might seem like a good idea to you at the time, especially if you got an erection, but, dude, rules of thumb. There's rules of thumb set out there by gentlemen for a reason. That'll help you get the most success and change your life, because you might miss out on a good person because you wanted to talk about getting a hand job within 3 minutes of a conversation. That's just lame, dude. Straight up. Word up for real. How do you guys like the video? How do you like the quality? If you leave me a comment in the section below and tell me about it. And if you could, please hit that like button. It always helps me, and it always helps the channel, and it helps my videos grow. And I'm no big faulty, so I need help, all the helps I can get. Here's to growing, baby.